Okay, we got a jam-packed episode for you all today, ladies and gentlemen. Tons of information cleared up by the developers, a couple new videos released by the official Diablo 4 team, exclusive new rewards, and a massive announcement coming at the end of the year that hasn't been around for over 4 years. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, if you're interested in earning a free Diablo 4 game copy, the Comeback Kids are doing a giveaway. So make sure you stick around until the end of the video to see how you can earn a free copy for yourself. Now, if you were hyped before about Diablo 4 launch, the developers just released a new official gameplay launch trailer, and I'll tell you what, it's got me ready to run through a brick wall. We got incredible shots of Lilith and our character, never before seen cinematics, great music, and just an awesome display of the wide variety of zones Diablo 4 is going to have to offer for you. Do yourself a favor and watch this video as soon as you possibly can. We also got a first look at what seems to be the Butcher in this video as well, so make sure you watch it as soon as you possibly can. With that, they also released the brand new first lore video, which is going to be a part of a series of videos they're going to be releasing to the public. The first video is called The Book of Loraz, and it's going to dive right into the creation of Sanctuary, talking about major lore characters on both sides of the Eternal Conflict. So if you're looking for some awesome videos to get you hyped up for Diablo 4, or if you're just a Diablo 4 fan, make sure to check these out. I mean, they're filled with, great information and awesome looking gameplay and features as well, so make sure to check those out. Rod Ferguson also made it very clear to not let the 4 scare you, and the fact that you're playing Diablo, everything you need to know inside of Diablo 4's story, you will get to play and experience on your own. Pretty much meaning, listen guys, I know there's a lot of people out there that are, commenting saying this is their first time playing Diablo 4. So if you're worried about learning about the lore of the game in particular, it's not something that you're going to have to be concerned about or worried about, heading into Diablo 4. They're going to explain and show you everything you need to know for the full Diablo 4 lore experience. Now, if you're ready for some exclusive in-game rewards, it looks like one of Diablo 4's Twitch program partnerships just got leaked. It is going to be called the Support a Streamer partnership, where you earn a brand new Primal Instinct mount skin, and it will be rewarded in-game when a player links their Twitch account to their Battle.net account. After that, you gift 2 subscriptions to a participating Twitch channel between June 5th and July 2nd. It's very important to note, ladies and gentlemen, that the early access for Diablo 4 comes out on June 1st or 2nd, depending on where you are in the world. So make sure you hold off on giving those subscriptions until June 5th, when the drops are actually enabled, and you can check out the exclusive new mount on the screen here as well. We also got a first look at some of the different Nightmare Dungeon affixes displayed over Twitter. If you don't know, Nightmare Dungeons are going to be probably the biggest endgame feature of Diablo, amplifying a normal dungeon, increasing their difficulty severely, as well as rewards for you in the end game. Now, taking a look at these affixes, first up we have the Drifting Shade, which is going to be sending a vengeful spirit to pursue players and exploding as it draws closer to you. The Stormvane's Wrath, which is an unstoppable elemental, following players, inflicting damage when it gets closer to you. And lastly, the infamous Nightmare Portal, which summons a portal where deadly monsters emerge from the portal to attack the player. I personally am super excited to see the rest of these affixes and see how it's going to change gameplay, as well as force you into a different build, to cater to defeating those affixes a little bit easier. Now, if you're planning on playing co-op in Diablo 4, listen up, because we got some very important details for you. A fan on Twitter was confused on who gets the campaign progress when you play cooperatively. Does the session host get it, or do all people get it? Rod Ferguson replied and stated, the host of the party owns the state of the world. If you are aligned at the same point in the questline, then you all progress at the same time. If there is a misalignment, then they won't get the story quest progress or experience until that player catches up. So for example, if you're playing with a group of players that's not so committed to playing together, it's always best to have the player with the, least amount of progress to be the host, so they can catch up and everyone can be together. He also emphasized that level scaring is very helpful toward this feature, so you can have a, level 1 player and a level 30 player being able to play together and progress through the story if they need to, having fun because the game scales for everyone individually. Now, the whole quest progression system has mixed me up personally a few times when I was in a party, so if you are going to play co-op, make sure you are at least on, comms on Discord or something, or in some sort of communication with your teammates, because if you're not, it can be very painful and you can waste a lot of time. Now, if you like killing treasure goblins like me, and I'm sure a lot of you out there do, I'm sure you were upset over the Server Slam weekend with the lack of rewards they were actually giving you. Or in some cases, they were giving you no rewards at all. The developers did state they are looking into this, and we just got news from Rod Ferguson that they are aware of the issue and they have already made the fix for launch day. So once again, Blizzard and the developers seeing a problem and almost instantaneously fixing it to make sure the game is prepped for launch day. We also got a ton of questions cleared up from Joe Shelley, the Diablo 4 game director. He was asked if critical hit damage increases your overpower damage, and how would something like that interact with vulnerable enemies? Do these effects stack up all on top of each other? He states that critical hit, overpower, and vulnerability are all separate effects with separate affixes, but they can all occur on the same attack. He also clarified that poison effects are not considered a crowd control, because he was asked that as well. He states that if you had an effect like enemies you poison are slowed by 20%, then enemies you poison would be considered crowd control due to the slow component being applied to it. He also confirmed that also bosses count as elites, and this also includes world bosses as well. He also states that when a boss in Diablo 4 is staggered, they are treated as afflicted by all crowd control types. For example, if you have a 10% increased damage to slowed enemies, you will deal 10% more damage while the boss is staggered. This also applies to other effects conditioned on the target being CC'd as well. A fan also asked that if your class has multiple damage to increase crowd control effects, would this stack? He states that yes, the damage stacks from multiple bonuses, either additively or multiplicatively, depending on the effect. So that's big news if your character's built around crowd control heavily. You know, when a boss is staggered, it's pretty much going to be your big offensive window to be able to blow that boss up, you know, use all of your cooldowns and damage them as much as you possibly can. We also confirmed in our previous video that the Battle Pass can only be progressed by seasonal characters, and a ton of people are still confused on this and getting mixed answers. And Adam Fletcher took to Twitter and confirmed this as well, stating that yes, this is true. So, if you're hoping to get cosmetics through the Battle Pass, you are going to be forced to play on Seasonal Realms and progress through the Battle Pass on there. You know, honestly, it is a bit of a red flag in my opinion, but I guess that's something, you know, the developers and the fans are going to have to interact with on the new season launch day to see how it feels and, you know, if they want to keep going forward with this, you know, concept for this. And once again, being confirmed for probably the millionth time, Diablo 4 will have absolutely no pay to win. The developers also stated that you shouldn't be worrying about the Druid's power level because you're still missing their Spirit Boons, which is an important part of the Druid progression overall. Now, it is a great thing that this isn't confirmed, you know, that there is no pay for power, obviously, but they haven't said one time that there isn't going to be any sort of pay for convenience. I'm wondering if that could include something like more storage space, possibly respec tokens, or a potion that maybe increases the rate at which you get gold or something like that. I guess this is something we're going to have to keep our hopes up on not coming to Diablo 4 because there are no confirmations as of right now. We also got a bit of a tease about potentially there being some podcasts leading up to the launch to discuss more info on the game. Rod Ferguson stated that there might be one or two, so we will have to keep our eyes and ears out for some updates on that. And when it comes to the tab overlay map feature that everyone loved in previous Diablo games, there are absolutely no plans at the moment for that being implemented into the Diablo 4 game. My personal opinion is that, honestly, I don't see the big deal on simply adding the feature because a ton of people want it and have been asking for it for months and months now, so why not just, you know, implement something like that very easily? I'm not sure. And speaking of the map, the Diablo team posted the full map of the game, and I just wanted to emphasize, honestly, how big the world is actually going to be. You know, I personally played in all 3 beta testing weekends, obviously only through the Fractured Peak zone, and that is only about 15 to 20% of the entire world able to be discovered. You know, Diablo 4 is by far going to be the biggest Diablo game yet, and it's something I'm truly excited to dive into, and I'm sure you all are too. Once again, as just a public service announcement for players who bought the early access version of Diablo 4, you will be able to play at June 1st at 4 p.m. Pacific time. The main launch for everyone else starts at June 5th at 4 p.m. Pacific time. Adam Fletcher, one of the developers, also confirmed that we are going to have an early download opportunity similar to the beta weekend, so that will most likely come just a few days prior to the launch to get everyone prepared to head into Sanctuary. And lastly, Rod Ferguson was asked how having the Ultimate Edition on 2 platforms will work. Will the bonuses for the Ultimate Edition stack at all, or will you get both of them? I don't know. He replied saying that the incentives are shared, but you can only play early access on the platform that you bought the Ultimate Edition on. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's very important to know that you cannot play the early access version of Diablo 4 on any platform that you want. You can only activate it on the platform you bought the Ultimate Edition on. So, for example, if you bought it on the PS5, you could only play the early access on the PS5. When the game comes out, then you could play on any console you want and move on from there. Moving on to some more lighthearted topics. If you're also planning on meal prepping for the Diablo 4 launch, what better way to do it than to use the Diablo 4 official cookbook? Yes, that's right. There is a cookbook for Diablo. I remember Lance and I actually got the vanilla World of Warcraft cookbook and cooked up some Dirge's Kickin' Chimeric chops, and it was honestly quite delicious. I also saw a funny meme on the Ashava mount trophy that you could have, gained from the server slam of, reaching level 20, killing Ashava. And I just want to confirm that, yes, it is true. You are better than everyone else if you actually have the Ashava mount trophy. Now, guys, after 4 years of gathering online, it's honestly time to gather in person once again, states Blizzard. That's right, because the Blizzard team is officially announcing that BlizzCon will be returning to Anaheim Convention Center on November 3rd and 4th. They state that our players are at the heart of what makes BlizzCon great and a place where games and the common ground for connection and friendship come together. Whether you're coming to hang out with friends you only ever get to see online, or, celebrating epic moments in the games we love, exploring what's on offer in the convention center halls, or eager to learn what's next for our universes, BlizzCon is being created for you. It's the community that has always made this event so special, and we can't wait to see you all again. We'll be back with more details about the show next month, including ticketing information, cosplay and other competition details, and more. They also state that for those of you who want to book accommodation now, our hotel blocks are now available. Whether you'll be joining us in person or online, we can't wait to share what we've been working on and celebrate together. We're counting down the days alongside you. But okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap up this episode. We have a lot more content coming up in the next couple weeks with some, individual class video highlights to prep you up for launch, more news videos and updates, as well as a video on everything you need to know heading into day 1 on Diablo 4 launch. Don't forget, if you're interested in earning a free Diablo 4 game copy, the Comeback Kids are doing a giveaway, so make sure you check out the link in the description below to see how you can win that. We also have a Diablo 4 Discord server for those of you interested in making some friends, or, just interested in talking about Diablo 4 in general with a bunch of nerds. Go on and hop in there if you want to. I want to thank you all so much for watching this video. It's an absolute pleasure to be making content for you all. Until the very end, my name is Sky from the Comeback Kids. I will see you all in the next one. Peace!